Hello and welcome back to week 9 round 2 of PUBG. This is the NUEL bringing you some university esports, right? And this is our final game of week 9. Thank you very much for joining me and Clumsy over here. Now we are back over the Erangel, making things a little bit more greener as we end the night. We're going to have an east to southwest drop here, providing basically every location on the map too. Sure, multipower is going to be a little bit more hard to get to, but you can definitely wave it in.
Yeah, it's what I like to call a perfect airplane right there. It's one that allows the players the opportunity to access about every single area of the map and doesn't really create an unfair advantage for anybody who has a particular spawn, and allows the players to create sort of a wide area across the map, to not have any tension in the early game, and let themselves get completely kitted up for the later stages of this round 3 that we have on week 9 games of PUBG.
Indeed. As we drop on through, there's so many people dropping on the midway of this map area. We're gonna take a quick look at all these players dropping in. This is gonna be one hell of a beginning of this game, unless teams immediately decide, right, no, we don't want to go near that. And once again, Clumsy, we got Team 2 and Team 7 going the same way, so they're gonna clash early on in this game, as they pretty much usually do. So Are we expecting to see Team 1 and Team 7 in that final few, or do you think Team 3 can finally get a little bit more luck?
I think, just as we're seeing here, the encounters are beginning early with Team 2 and Team 7 in the school area. A job that is not very common for players, is it not?
It's dangerous. It's dangerous to come over to school earlier on, but Ludicrous, he's making it work. He's making some fantastic plays on the high ground. AKM comes out. That is a solid weapon for early on. A lot of high impact with that 7.62 ammo as well as, and that's why you see Ayaru go down almost immediately. Doesn't have a vest on, doesn't have a helmet. The guy is pretty much done and dusted. Team 1, however, the circle is not kind to you. And finally, Team 3, they get a little bit of a break.
From a perfect plane to a disastrous circle right there. I think it's it's you know, you have the perfect plane that allows players the perfect opportunity to get kitted, and then you have the absolute worst zone to ever spawn on a wrangle, where simply it has almost half of it only that is actual ground, and half of it being the ocean. And so it forces players to go down so much of the map. And so I think hopefully what we're going to see this game is teams realize that there is an issue with the zone, and they're going to be deciding to make an early rotation before it becomes too late.
Yeah, and which is why you see a lot of these players, Team 7, they're trying to loot as fast as possible before they make their way down. And like you say, oh god, that is about 50% water here. I think it's come phase 4 that will make a hard shift away. But the question is, does it shift over to Military Island, and will we have a finish there where things start to get a little bit more intense as the playing field just gets tighter and tighter?
Dropping in school, we see Team 7 and Team 2 right next to each other right now. I'm not a huge fan of dropping in school. I think the loot is very oversold compared to some other dense areas of the map. I think that, especially in tournaments, school is only a worthy drop if you split with the apartment buildings. But right now, Team 7 have the apartment buildings completely contested by Team 2, which leaves them with, frankly, not much to their name, whereas Team 2 have the better side of this, where they have the apartment buildings that are kitted completely to the brim. And so you have a player here like Ludicrous, who has an AK with absolutely no scope on it, and there's not much he can do with that, trying to take on long-range fights with the players in the apartments.
Yeah, and I mean, exactly as you say, Clumsy. I think this specific area, you come to school, right, and there are a lot of weapons available to you as a player. But the main reason that people come to school, especially in solo queue games, is because there is so much opportunity for outplay within school. It doesn't really matter so much when you come over to PUBG when you're playing this squad game type of style, because even if you outplay one team, you're still going to be starved for loot, like you say. And now Team 2, although they lost a member earlier on, they're going to be placing themselves in a very good position. You see them across the way, all seem to be having some decent weapons on board, whereas you see Team 7, they don't really have too much on them, not too much available to them.
We see a player with a shotgun. I mean, that's very rare to see in tournament games in PUBG. And I know for a fact, or I'm predicting for a fact, that that is not a choice that he's carrying that shotgun with him. And the other problem with school as well is that there is no escape route to leave. It's open field to the north, to the south, the west, and to the east. And so Team 2 can very easily watch all of the angles that they could possibly come out of and have no option, no, sorry, and have an easy option to take them out, which is why to leave through the west side, which is the only angle that Team 2 don't have a vision on, which is to leave hidden by the school building per se.
Yeah, really you want to find an early vehicle here. I mean, coming into 5 minutes 15 here, this is a time when it's time to start making that move downwards, and I think a lot of these teams understand that. Team 4, Team 9 all had the absolute thick of it. You've got people up in Severny, up in Stalba. It's tough. It's tough for them. They're going to have a long haul all the way down. And you were talking about pastime looting. There's going to be absolutely none of that for these players because they just won't have a chance because they've got to absolutely just razz it all the way down towards Military Island.
Fortunately for pastime looting, you need the time, and that's not something that they have here. And, you know, Pushinki, we have here Team 3 and Pushinki. They have time, not too far away. Actually, they are in the zone, my mistake. So they're in a good position here. Team 5 with a knocked player. I'm assuming this is a just PUBG vehicle things kind of moment that happened. Yeah. You know, unfortunately, the game is sort of not coded to the perfection that it should be. And issues like this happen. And it's nice to see when the issue only costs you a med kit and an energy drink to just get you back to full health. But sometimes it's very sad to see players fall down and actually not being able to get revived in these situations, and it unfortunately is just a terrible thing that can happen. But everyone is faced with the same code, the same bad code, I should say, that PUBG is made with, and so, you know, where
oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh, okay.
I think Gozu heard me speaking there and was like, okay, let's just have a quick demonstration of what the vehicles in PUBG can do. Now, he actually didn't look like he lost a lot of health there. And no, maybe fine. I think it might have been intended in case a team was shooting at him. It allows for more mobile cover, makes him a harder target to hit. Yeah.
Oh, dear me. I mean, if that was evasive maneuvers, you know what? I'm happy to see it. And he will make the switch over to a little bit more open terrain now as he moves down towards the coastline. Team 5 will be waiting for them though there. Is he just gonna make the swim? I don't think so. This is a tough place to cross though, because you are gonna have some solo queue antics here where players will just be waiting over the bridge. Love trumps hate though, all the way over there. We are playing within these yellow houses for the time being. This could potentially be a clash between Love Trumps Hate and Gosu Shy, who I believe is just waiting for the rest of his team to come down. He was the scout player. Didn't do a very good job at scouting. More of roly-poly down the hill inside a car. Double seatbelted it up. Oh, come on. They're all doing it. Are they in on this?
I think it's just they know the observer cam is watching them right now, and they simply decide, okay, it's time for me to make a stunt. I need to show my skills with the vehicle. And it's beautiful what we've had with vehicles tonight, with the fiery Dacia, the drifting in early game, and now
that's a nice
the
shot,
Arango vehicle.
Yeah, the roly-polies. You hate to see it. Motorcycle on the way. Love Trumps Hate does get that first aid kit off, and now they're going to go confirm the kill over onto Yoda's on fire. Taking a lot of damage though, and this is the power of having a scout behind you. Is just nowhere to go. He does manage to get out. I thought they were actually going to die from this one. They're both on the vehicle now. They're desperately trying to get away as fast as possible. What seemed like a pretty decent start turned into something quite disastrous. Svetoslav by himself over there, and I think pretty much every member of Team 2 now has gone down. And you said it's a little bit unfortunate. It doesn't really cost them too much, but it does mean that they bleed out slightly faster, which could be crucial when coming into these late game fights where you need to get members up and you have to leave them alone for 10 seconds or more.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a really interesting thing with the zone that we have here, which is about 50% on the main island and 30% on the military. That was close to disaster right there, Zachary. Don't scare us like that. Not on live
today?
streams.
What is going on
Goddamn.
today? Props to our observer for catching all this. It's ridiculous.
But just as I was saying, these zones that are half on the northern side of the map and half on the military base side of the map. It's quite tough as a team to make a decision. It's almost a gamble that you have to make, whether you cross or whether you stay on the main side. Team 5, we saw them crossing the bridge earlier. They decided, okay, that's it. We're going to set up our base in military base. Sorry. If the zone does not stay in military base, then it's a shame. There's nothing they can do about it, and they'll just have to swim across. But it puts them at an advantage where they now have that control over anybody who's entering into military base. So the other teams are now forced to all fight for this main island area of Euro.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if it's predictable as of yet. Come when we do make the hard shift away from water, but I think the majority of Military Island is actually within the circle. So I'm pretty sure that the circle will shift over to there, and I think it is already too late for all the mainlanders, so to speak. But they are all holding down the coastline, like you were saying earlier on, Crumsy. They might have to make the plunge sooner or later. You see Gosu Shy, he is so very wary of this bridge right now. Attica, towards the middle of the building right now, staying pretty safe for the time being. But it will be Team 3 waiting on the sidelines. But Gosu Shy taking some shots, does find Cheers Love, who seems to be this one player that has been steering clear of his own teammates. He's hiding behind the Dacia for the time being, but it is going to be a long haul from the entirety of his own team to come pick him back up again. It is possible, but they will be putting themselves in harm's way to come grab him. Gosu Shy trying to get the angle on him now.
We've had a lot of long range knocks this game, and it's hard for these teams that are just all of the teams are so split that they get a player picked off and they're having to change their rotations out completely to be able to save their teammates, and it's a risk that they have to take. But Cheers Love is hidden behind a Dacia right now, so he is technically resable, but is it worth the risk of potentially losing a second one of your members? Now, as I say that, Pechenek has found a smoke in the gas station, and he is going to be able to drop that smoke on the Dacia, but a lot of shots are coming in right now as players are trying to cross into this military base. So.
Yeah, Proveners does find Secret Lucian. He will go down. Proveners has to heal back up again as they are now within the blue. It's the first circle, so it's not really... Well, it's phase 2, so it's hurting a little bit, but it's not a lot of damage at the moment. And yeah, like I said, I was sure that the majority of the actual circle was within Military Island, so they will all have to start rushing it across there, picking up the rest of Team 9. They are under a lot of fire. Merrick King so very low. He's going to have to start band-aiding up as soon as possible. Mobster jumps out the way, back into the fiery Dacia. That mascot from the first game, will it bring them luck now as they make the cross over the bridge into the welcoming and waiting hands of Team 4 on the other side?
Merrick unfortunately getting knocked by the zone as they're trying to make their way into that, and it's going to be trouble. It's going to be problems. It's going to cause problems, for that team. And it's nice to see a lot of the teams that were based on the west side have been able to find boats. We see about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boats right now being used currently by the teams.
Ooh.
And they're going to be able to enter into the southern side.
This is exactly what we're talking about, is the fights happening between Team 4 and Team 9 right now. One gets run over, but it's Mobster, Atka, Proveners all waiting down here. Slowly but surely, though, their teammate will bleed out. Atka within the vehicle, staying nice and safe. Mobster on this side, but things are starting to look very tough for them. They've got to make the cross sooner or later, but there are 2 members all the way across already. Gosu Shy still remaining inland, but let's take a look at Snipster, Wookie, Nile and Co. They have made a very, very big rotate with their boat vehicles down to the bottom of the map right now, Crumsy.
It's a very safe position to come into, actually, because you sort of arrive on a little beach. That beach is generally not being watched because it's unexpected for players to arrive there, and it actually provides you a significant amount of cover to then peek into the houses that are the first houses to arrive from the beach, and the players are quite safe in terms of landing into those houses there.
It's like a bat out of hell as they just razz it all the way across this bridge. They're desperately going as fast as possible. The Darcia goes forward by the entirety of Team 9. They will be taken out there, at least in a blaze of glory. Zachary, the final member left alive on Team 4. I think it was a valiant attempt from Team 9. They're just not able to make it work, not able to stick that landing. Now, 8 teams remaining, 27 alive. We are at that 15-minute mark, so we are progressing quite quickly into the mid-game.
Team 3 here taking control of the bridge. I think it's a very good position to start off of when the zones are sort of bordering bridges. It's going to allow them to catch anybody still rotating, because there is still zone presence in the main island of Erangel, so teams could still be rotating through the bridge. So they are going to leave Cheerslove behind to sort of watch their back in case of any rotate. As for example, MacFlip there is actually pushing slightly towards the bridge side, and Atomical might not expect him to see him this close, and they might hear their steps and actually predict Team 3's here.
Whoa, what a spray from Atomical. Every single shot just accurate as anything, right? This man is Robin Hood, except he's got a UMP instead. Makes a quick switch over to the 4X now for that long-range fire over onto Fatal Slug, who does hold on the enemy side. They will confirm that kill right now. It's just Fatal Slug all by his lonesome. Gosu Shy is desperately trying to make the swim across, Iron Manning it, but I don't think he's going to get there anytime soon.
Atomical and his team aware and very much aware that there is a player left from Team 2. Actually, another player left on the other side of the map. But, you know, I think it's important to look at Team 7, currently the only team left on the main island of Erangel, and this team is in trouble right now. They are currently shooting at tires of cars. I think it's the least of their worry, and maybe they should start making their way down, because they know the zone is not for them. Maybe they're doing it to stop anybody else. They think the team's still over there, but this team could still have an advantage in terms of maybe not being expected at this time to be pushing in. And now that Team 3 have let go of the bridge is actually quite an open area to take, and Fatal Slug is watching that area. He might not be expecting the rest of Team 3 coming behind him. They are going to spot him, taken very, very low here.
This is a difficult position to be in. That was a very, very quick reaction speed from both Petroneg and Atomical. They both move right to left there. There's no way you can predict both sides, so they get the really nice crossfire going. Gosu Shy still on this left-hand side, and now a really, really scary circle. Anyone who will be holding down on those mountains is going to be feeling pretty good for themselves, but Gosu Shy channeling his inner fish at the moment, just on the riverside, just on this coast. He's got to move across sooner or later, though, right? And the swim, it's going to be treacherous.
I think Gosu being alone here, he knows that he doesn't have much of a fighting chance for the rest of the game. So I think he's just playing the sort of waiting game here, where he doesn't want to swim across because he is still technically in the zone, which buys him at least a minute before the zone hits, and then another about two minutes and a bit to wait before the next zone starts moving, where he's safe and he knows that he's safe. And he's going to let all the other teams in the island fight within each other, take each other down, and he might be able to scratch an extra couple set of points to place his team higher up on the board with this that he's doing. But it does look like that he's about to go swimming to maybe, you know, push for this fighting chance on this last game of the night.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be done right at some point. You want to make the last-ditch attempt to maybe go out with a little more than 0 kills to your name. 8 teams, 25 alive. Hasn't changed much in the past 3 minutes. But it's soon to change indeed, as more and more of these teams are forced together. They are crushed by this circle. I think Team 3 though at the moment, they are looking pretty good. I mean, Cheers Love is actually playing very, very well as a scout. I've been impressed by their rotations. I've been impressed by the way that they do watch out for these players. Gosu Shy going directly underneath the bridge, but once again, it's that team number 1 making their way into the circle. Seem to have some decent gear as well as.
They're going to be encountering Team 3 here, and Team 3 are actually quite split. It looks like they are trying to still retake control of the bridge to stop any players who are going for a late rotate, which leaves Angelico all by himself in this compound that is being peeked on by Epoch right now. But Epoch is going to be pushing towards this northern side of the circle as well, hearing the shots coming in towards the bridge, and knowing that the players here are going to be focusing on the bridge. Team 3 here are going to be focusing on the bridge, and therefore it might be an easy kill or an easy tag that they could come across. And now it's time for everybody to channel their inner fish and swim and pray that these players are going to forget about them and simply move on so that they can safely arrive on the beach.
Yeah, look at them all making their way through. Gosu pops up first, takes a shot to the face, will have to dive back under, but this is such a cool angle. It's a decent camera angle for us as well as watching down all of those little rungs between. These players are going to have to come up for air at some point, and when they do, Petronek ready to fill their breath with lead. It's a tough situation indeed.
If I was Team 3 here, I'd almost want to push over close to the ocean as Petronek is doing here to be certain that one of them cannot sneak behind a pillar and surprise me later on as I am then moving back. They have 2 minutes to play with here before the zone hits. They have plenty of time to just confirm the fact that all these players swimming behind them will not cause them to die. And, ever since swimming was nerfed in PUBG, you have a lot less breath. Breath takes a lot more time to come in. It's much less valuable to be swimming for this long, and the players know that this is it for them. It's just dodge bullets as much as you can and hope for the best at this point.
It really is. Oh dear. To be honest with you, the one thing I do want to know is the fact that, wow, Gosu Shai actually finds Chazmaster. Are you kidding? Ludicrous drowns, Gibby drowns, they're all drinking in mouthfuls of water right now. Petronek actually taking some shots from behind. If he goes down here, it could be terrible for Team 3. They keep losing their best member in the beginning, and it's Gosu Shai coming out on top once again. Goes down to 18 HP, desperately trying to get out the way. Petronek falls to Niels, Vanilla CS with the third party, and surprisingly, it's Crumsy, Gosu Shai actually makes his way across. Drenched or not, this man is living.
Not so much anymore, but he actually did very well for himself
made
there.
The cross.
I would like to mention though that Team 7 did purposely drown, in my opinion, and what I believe, because they knew that there was no way that they would fight Gosu there, and so they decided not to give him the points for the kills, and Suicide guaranteeing that they stopping him from attaining those points there. Petronek though making a big mistake, stopping the sort of the cover that he had over the bridge, and now Team 3 is in not such a good position as Atomical is in a house next to 4 members from Team 14, while his teammate Angelico Bohr is on the other side. They're almost sandwiching Team 14, but it's really not in a good way.
No, and they know where Angelico is sitting at the moment. I feel so bad for Team 3. They're holding such good angles. It's just so unfortunate when it comes down to the wire, because there seems to be always someone behind. I don't think Petronek is getting far enough support than he actually deserves a lot of times now. It's Angelical, Atomical, all in tough situations. 2 snipers, the M24 very, very loud, the VSS very, very quiet. So they have the dichotomy going at least, but now be Team 1 heading themselves over the hills, through the trees to go for this long flank.
Team 1, again, very good positioning. They avoid the compounds. They play this high ground. They have the scopes because they had the looting to support that. And now they have vision, and they're separating really well. And, I think it does put them again in a position that they have a very good chance of taking this game. But I think that there's still a lot of players here that are going to be able to contest this. And I would like to see players push and force this out.
Yeah, Atomical in a pretty good situation, trying third party this team on team 14. Looking over the hill, some nice shots coming out from Voodoo, not hitting them, unfortunately, not taking care of that bullet drop as well as he probably should in that situation. Sombrero bloke on the high ground, looking for some shots. Can't quite see anyone as of yet, so he's really just in an open position. You see the shots coming through. Verazi with that M249 can be absolutely devastating close range.
Atomical has done very well for himself here. He's managed to sneak into the bottom of the house, and I don't think that they're so much aware of this. And Team 14 have another danger to worry about. There's Team 1 shooting down at them, raining down bullets from this mountain. And Atomical, he knows, I will just sit here, wait for them to come out, and chances are that they will do eventually. And I don't think that Atomical has any reason to move, any reason to confirm to them that he is there and waiting. So this might actually end up working out for Atomical. And we see Epoch, they're confident that they have the points advantage here, that he is going to push for this drop, pick up any spare guns or Kevlar and things like that. Now, ghillie suit there. He didn't decide to pick it up. Blanca, are you a fan of the ghillie suit or not?
I don't know, dude. So Crumsy, you've made a lot of calls during this game. Like, pretty much exactly after you make the call, the player that you talk about does the thing. Now, they don't take the ghillie suit. I think in some ways you're going to tell me right now that it was a good choice not to take the ghillie suit. In most situations, I would take the ghillie suit and I would play Solid Snake. Am I wrong?
So the ghillie suit is actually a disadvantage, not in terms of vision or anything like that. Now, this might just be my opinion. I know a lot of people do believe it's the same, but it actually adds more of a target to your back than actually covers you, because when you're just standing, you're actually wider. The ghillie suit is more visible and things like that. And so I think that's why the players didn't decide to take it.
Ah, okay. I did not know that. Anyway, we are going to see a couple of players falling down. Neil drops to the floor first. And will remove his helmet as well as he's taking a couple of shots. You see them peppering the ground around them. They are in a very much open position right now, which is why you see a lot of these smokes going down. It's pretty much providing all the cover that they need, but it's all the cover that they're going to get as well as...
Now, Sombrero Bloke, I'm not sure exactly what is happening to that player. He was knocked by the zone and then somehow knocked himself again. I'm not exactly sure what's going on that side of the map, but Team 1 are things, PUBG things.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Team 1 are in a situation here where I think they're making the right call of deciding to take the vehicle, because they know that Team 6 is going to stop them from any idea of rotation that they want. So they almost have to pray that this vehicle move will work, but it is, I'd say, the best move to do. And they're going to change the position, push onto a car. Whoa. Very nice drift. Whoa. Coming in. It doesn't quite work out in the end, but I almost wanted to say that it was intended to create cover as they were moving. They land, the car is perfectly placed. But they have actually managed to save 3 players coming into this, and so they're actually in a 3-on-3 situation versus Team 5 here, and they are going to be pushing the building and going for this engagement.
Epoch goes down. Neil's also to the floor. It's just Hizzy left. He is half HP. This is another situation we saw from the first game. It's all on his lonesome, but love trumps hate. He will take the triple there. Team 5 still win this one. It's 2 players down on the ground as well, so we'll be able to res both of those up, and now 4 players remaining on Team 5. They're in a very good situation, but Angelical, he's the 1 player left. Sammy's does confirm the kill. Angelical will go down. That's Team 3 off the board. They had a good run. They made it to the top 5. I think despite the situations, they did really good for themselves.
I think Team 14 is the only team with a member down right now. NUEL is being very aggressive onto this house. He doesn't have any reason to do so. He does have the teammates watching long range, so he can play a surprising factor to this team fight. He is going to be taken down instantly by the M249, though. We said it so much, the M249, close range, it can almost kill you that quickly before you can say M249. And now Team 6 are actually, they're taking low. NUEL wasn't able to be saved. Team 14 are all very low health, but it doesn't look like any of Team 6 are going to be able to capitalize on that low health. And Team 6 are splitting completely, focusing on 2 teams at once, and this might be very, very troublesome for them.
Yeah, this could be their downfall so far. We've seen Love Trump's hate actually take down 3 players from arguably the best team of the night right now. So going 1v4, probably not the best of ideas. Snips the Wookiee does place himself in a good position, but looks like Love Trump's hate has got his position, has got his number, and he's about to call it as soon as Snips the Wookiee does make a quick peek out, which could be coming very soon. Slithro, though, looking towards the garage, looking for this engage, this push to remove the cockroaches out this building as soon as possible. But Love Trump's Hate still remaining in a decent position for the time being. Now, look at this circle though, Crumsy. Right in the middle of the road will force all these players into a place of contestation. So we're probably going to see this game end before Phase 8.
I totally agree. I think we're not even going to see a situation where the players are going to be placing themselves into that zone, because all the teams are going to have to fight before going there. Team 14 is watched by Team 6. Team 5 is also watched by Team 6. But they know that they can't leave until Team 6 is taken care of. Therefore, they might have to be the aggressive ones in this situation. And there's actually Cithro just, sneaking behind. I don't think they expect him to be here, and he might just surprise them completely. He does also have the advantage, Cithro, here, where he might be able to sneak onto the right and actually provide cover for Team 6. And Team 6, Wookie, is going to actually be able to take the first kill down on Team 5 here. They should be able to get the res, but this just calls for Cithro to push in, play that element of surprise they didn't know. Mark is going to be taking down Screaming Radish, and that he's going to confirm that straight away. But Cithro is now coming in and saying, hold up, you forgot about me. I'm here. But the zone, it's pushing in right now, and this is trouble for these players.
Yeah, Team 5 set themselves in a very good position. Now it will be Team 14 coming over the top of the hills. Mark Emmerich taking down Cithro. He will fall to the zone. Sips the Wookiee moving in as fast as possible. There is a player to the right of him. He hasn't spotted him out as of yet. They are all making the mad dash over the compound over here. Team 14 start to join in on the action. You're on fire, taken down to the ground. Mark Emmerich also falling as well. Another one that will pick up. Confirm on You're on fire. There is now only 2 players remaining on Team 5. These Team 14 over the hill. They are making some decent shots. They had to make the mad dash. Love Trump's Hate goes down. Now it's only Derv McRage on the ground. There will be a confirm onto Love Trump's Hate. Just one single player remaining now, Crumsy. He has made the mad dash over the road. Derv McRage pops out once again. Will he pick up his team member? He will. 5% away from death. He is at death's door. The circle will claim him. Derv McRage on the left-hand side. It looks like Varazi will be coming in close right now with the M249. This will be the Loud Dragon to end the game slowly creeping up. This is not a quiet gun, but he's quiet on his feet. He's going to be looking for the kill very, very shortly, Crumsy. Energy drink just to give him that final spurt of energy to finish this one. Now, Team 14, they know they've got this one in the bag. Voodoo's there as insurance over the side of the hill.
I think Team 14, they're sort of, in case their information is wrong and they believe the player's in there, but in case they're mistaken, they're setting players inside the zone. And they're keeping one very, very close just to confirm that if he does push out, they have the information on him. Now, Derv McRage, I think he has no choice here. He just has to make a run for it and expect to hopefully take them down one by one and claim the victory here for Team 5.
Take the smoke grenade. It's all I've got left. Out comes the nade on top of Derv McRage. He throws out the flashbang. No one's really affected by it, but Varazi seems very scared. That's a big flashbang, am I right? Now, he's got the SKS. He's moving on the right-hand side. Varazi does not expect this. We move over to Derv McRage right now, but it will be Voodoo. The insurance pays out, and it pays out big. Team 14, they take the chicken dinner here today, and that will be our final round of tonight. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been me, Blank, and Crumsy. How did you find that last game, dude?
I think this last game was unfortunate for a lot of the teams. As I said, we had a perfect plane, which ended with possibly the worst zone for a lot of the drops here. And the teams had to struggle to make their way back. We saw a lot of fights. It was a very active game because of teams having to make constant movements, constantly being engaged by other squads. Now, however, we did have a nice situation there at the end where Team 6 was confronted with Team 5, and Team 14 managed to understand that this was their time to shine. This was their time to push up on the hill and, take advantage of this fight that was happening, and they decided to kill off all the players that were remaining and take this chicken dinner for them tonight.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Now, this, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, is the last game of NUEL PUBG Winter Split. We've had a very, very good one. I've definitely been tuning in some of the matches. There have been some incredible games. I think you were talking about earlier on, Crumsy, about Pechene, who actually got the 1v10, pulled that one off. I've really enjoyed PUBG this season. I hope to see it back again next season. Maybe we get some more visitors, some more players from the unis all around. It is a great one. We'd love to see more of you here. But for the time being, that is the end. Thank you very much, Crumsy. Thank you very much to our producer, Sunken, and myself. Oh my god, I'm thanking myself for the producer, right? I did some producing, but Sunken, she's bringing you all the lovely camera angles right now. It's just one person, by the way. You would have thought it was like several doing all those camera angles. So it's a good time. Again, thank you very much for joining me, Crumsy. And that'll be all of it for tonight from us. We shall catch you guys very shortly back in spring. Good night.